Tomorrow, disgraced former Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl, the U.S. soldier held captive by the Taliban for 5 years, expected to admit to the court that he is a deserter.
After trading 5 terrorists for his return, the Associated Press now reports that Bergdahl will plead guilty to desertion and misbehavior before the enemy rather than face trial for abandoning his fellow soldiers back in Afghanistan in 2009.
Our next guest led the Special Forces search for Bergdahl, former Green Beret commander, Fox News contributor, and author of a great book, Warrior Diplomat, retired Lieutenant Colonel Michael Waltz. Michael, great to see you on this morning, my friend.
Hey, good morning, David.
So, here we have the 2 cases. We've talked about this on radio. The importance of the plea for desertion and the misbehavior before the enemy and what it means.
Well, so we don't actually know, and we won't know until tomorrow, whether Bergdahl entered into a plea bargain with prosecutors. The plea bargains are actually entered with what's called the convening authority, which is the 4-star general over the entire case. And by military law, that's not allowed to influence the judge, who's going to come to his own conclusion about what the sentence should be. And then the general takes the lesser of those 2 if there was a bargain. So what I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow is, at a minimum, from the court-martial proceedings, a reduction in rank to private, forfeiture of all benefits and back pay. Actually, Bergdahl has hundreds of thousands of dollars built up in back pay since his time in captivity, and no veterans benefit at all, and a dishonorable discharge. And he certainly should not be classified as a POW, because POWs actually get special benefits and medical benefits for the rest of their life. So I want to see all of that stripped away, and him not be even held in the same room or same sentence with people that served honorably and fought abroad for this country.
Colonel, all of that matters, but also it matters, will this guy ever, would he ever walk free, or is he destined to live the rest of his life in prison?
Yeah, so the misbehavior in front of the enemy, which he will plead guilty to, and that essentially means he endangered his fellow soldiers, which he absolutely did, including my soldiers and me, comes with a life sentence. And that's what we're going to be very interested to see, whether the judge gives him that life sentence, whether he plea bargained for something less, and whether the authorities give him some type of time served for his 5 years in Taliban and Haqqani captivity.
Is that what you think justice is, life behind bars? I mean, you were so close to this. You were part of that search
personal
for him. Yeah, it is personal. So
that's right.
In your opinion, what is justice?
Well, look, I look at folks like the family of the lieutenant that I testified next to, who don't get their son back. There are men who don't get to live at all, so much less even enjoy a hot meal in prison. So to me, justice is life in prison.
Absolutely, because the resources, time, and men lost looking for him are the cost that we have to remember.
Well,
a moment like this.
So there's a lot of focus on whether people died and whether people were hurt directly involved in the search. I know for a fact that happened. But what hasn't been mentioned are all the soldiers across all of Afghanistan who didn't have the resources that they need, didn't have the medevac, the air support, and all of those other pieces, because they were all diverted. And then the hostages abroad today that folks are still negotiating for, and the terrorists are expecting a trade.
Michael, thank you, my friend. Good to see you this morning, and to you and all the work that you and your fellow soldiers did. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Michael.